Welcome back to our explainer series on the Strategic Visions Guide. In our previous chapter, we clearly defined what a vision is, a vivid picture of the future that we want to create. But today, we're going to shift our focus entirely to something even deeper. We're transitioning from understanding what a vision is to exploring the profound why behind it. Here's what we're unpacking today. We're looking beyond the vision, defining our purpose and ultimate purpose, digging into sound ideology, comparing System A versus System B, and finally, looking at why our life roles must take priority over our vision. Let's get right into it.
All right, part 1, beyond the vision, the why behind the goal.
To really understand why a vision in isolation is incredibly fragile, let's think about architecture for a second. Think of your grand vision in life as the towering, glittering design of a massive skyscraper. It looks absolutely magnificent, reaching up into the clouds, right? But when the violent storms of life hit, when you face unexpected adversity, sudden financial loss, or massive personal setbacks, what actually prevents that beautiful building from just collapsing under the intense pressure? Well, the answer lies completely underground. It's the deeply buried, unseen bedrock foundation, the fundamental why that supports, justifies, and anchors everything built above it. Without this unseen foundation, even the most stunning vision is literally just waiting to crumble the moment the winds of adversity blow. Moving on to part 2, purpose and ultimate purpose. It's time to drill down to that bedrock. Okay, let's actually map out this architectural foundation, because a vision doesn't just magically float in midair. Notice how the foundation is layered. Your vision rests directly upon what we call the purpose of the vision, or POV. And that POV, in turn, sits right on top of an even deeper layer, your ultimate purpose, or UP. Let's break these down. The purpose of the vision, your POV, answers a super specific question. Why does this vision exist in the first place? This is vital because it stops your vision from just being some empty intellectual exercise. Plus, and this is huge, it gives you a backup plan. Let's say your vision is to become the chief surgeon at a specific hospital to help save lives, but due to unexpected health reasons, you can't operate anymore. Your original vision is blocked, but your POV, saving lives, is still totally intact. So you pivot. You open a medical charity or a clinic instead. You don't give up on the journey. You simply chart a new route to fulfill that exact same purpose. Now, if we dig one level deeper, we hit the absolute bedrock, the ultimate purpose. This answers the biggest existential question of all. Why do I exist? We aren't talking about your career or your business here. This is the fundamental reason why we exist as human beings. It serves as the absolute baseline for literally all of your life decisions and actions. If this bottom layer is cracked, nothing above it can stand. Which brings us to section 3, defining sound ideology, the absolute bedrock. So you might be wondering, what actually dictates our ultimate purpose? Where does the answer to why do I exist even come from? Well, it all rests on a sound ideology. Without a sound ideology, our ultimate purpose is on super shaky ground. And if the ultimate purpose is shaking, the POV is shaking, and the vision is at massive risk. It's a complete domino effect from the bottom up. But what exactly is an ideology? Simply put, an ideology is the core set of beliefs and guiding principles of a person or group. It acts as the fundamental lens through which you view reality. It defines your paradigms of thought, how you define massive concepts like success, contentment, failure, and even the origins of the universe itself. All right, part 4, System A versus System B, the paradigm clash. Because ideologies shape absolutely everything, we can sharply contrast two completely different ways of looking at the world. We'll call the Islamic framework System A and the materialistic or secular framework System B. And wow, notice the stark binary here. When it comes to the origin of man, System A views humanity as an honored creation of Allah, while System B views humans merely as evolved animals. For guidance, System A relies on divine wahi, or revelation, with human intellect operating strictly within that domain. System B, however, relies completely on human intellect alone to figure out life's massive complexities. So the crucial point in this whole paradigm clash is how they define success. Because this changes everything. System B is completely obsessed with the accumulation of material wealth and hitting very specific, tangible, worldly milestones. System A, on the other hand, defines ultimate success purely as the struggle for the pleasure of the creator, with the real success secured in the hereafter. This brings us to such a beautiful realization. In System A, success is not in accomplishing the vision, but in the struggle for the vision. Think about how liberating that is. It means that even if you face crushing setbacks and don't achieve your towering worldly vision, the sincere effort and struggle itself secures your ultimate success. It completely insulates you from feeling dejected or defeated because your reward is tied directly to the sincere effort, not just the final scoreboard. Furthermore, these two paradigms clash heavily when it comes to the concept of resources. System A operates on an abundance mindset. It teaches that resources are inherently abundant, and if you take the right steps, resource generation becomes a natural part of achieving your vision. System B, on the flip side, is fueled by a constant anxiety of scarcity. It views the world as a cutthroat, strictly competitive arena where there's just never enough to go around. And that leads us into our final section, Part 5, prioritizing roles over vision, applying the paradigm. So how does this fierce ideological clash actually dictate the way we live our day-to-day lives? Well, System A demands that long before we even begin to sketch out some grand specific vision for a business or career, we must first acknowledge and honor our inherent life roles. These are foundational. We're talking about roles like being a responsible ummati, striving to create a positive impact, being a breadwinner, earning a halal livelihood, and being a dedicated family member, honoring your deep duties to your parents, your spouse, and your kids. These absolutely must come first. In stark contrast, System B often pushes what we can call the obsessive vision. This is a single, ruthless, materialistic goal, like becoming a billionaire at all costs, that eventually forces a person to sacrifice and neglect their fundamental human roles. Family, health, and societal impact all get thrown under the bus in the ruthless pursuit of a single worldly milestone. This is exactly why the Islamic framework demands that your roles are defined and honored first. A truly wise person takes their profession, say being an engineer or an entrepreneur, and seamlessly weaves it into their broader role as an ummati and a family member, linking it all back to their ultimate purpose. System B just allows a singular vision to dominate until it eventually destroys those foundational roles entirely. As we wrap up today's explainer, I really want to leave you with a provocative thought to chew on. Take a good, hard look at the skyscraper you're currently building in your life. If your grand vision completely collapsed tomorrow, would your underlying roles and your ultimate purpose be strong enough to keep your foundation intact? Or have you neglected the unseen bedrock in pursuit of the skyline? Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope this helps you build a vision that truly stands the test of time.